Today we're working on remodeling this building and turning it into a museum. Yesterday we had Brandon and Jacob over here doing some flooring up here, which is going to be a storage area for the museum. This is luxury vinyl planking. They did a phenomenal job laying this. They kept it nice and tight along here for the trim, and even did this spot right here. So as you can see, they had some interesting floor work that they had to do. This floor right here, it's warped, so it's starting to twist, and they still got it right. Some of those gaps will be covered up by trim, so it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. So what we're gonna be working on today is getting the walls down here prepped to be painted. Caleb and Brandon were here yesterday, and what they did was come through and patch up holes in the walls here. You can see quite a bit of it was done. So we're doing one last little walk before we go ahead, sand it down, get some tape up, and then primer the walls and get it ready for painting. Well, before we can get started on the downstairs, I just got a list of stuff that I had to run and grab from Home Depot, so we're gonna go do that real quick. I'm back from Home Depot. We got all the stuff that we need. We got some masking, we got some tape, we got some sanding blocks, we got some thin set. So we should be good to go ahead and start fixing this wall and get it prepped for priming and painting. We have to go through and make sure that any ridges like this right here are taken care of and taken down. Then we'll come back through with some texturing, spray over that so it has a nice even coat. We have a ton of little holes all over the walls that we need to go ahead and fill with some mud and texturing. We also have some nails like along here that we need to pull out. And Todd's been working on covering some of the joints in the wall where it's bowing. So he's taking this area and feathering it out so that we have a nice even wall to come through. Then we'll spray some texturing. It'll look a lot better for the customer. We had to do that all along here for the main part of this building. For the parts of the drywall that are torn like this, if we try to apply mud, it'll just bubble up and flare off. So we're using some of the Zinsser Bin shellac primer to go ahead and cover this area so we can go through and mud it afterwards. So we have a lot of holes right here in the wall that we're gonna go through and fill with some mud. There's a few throughout the whole entire building. We gotta get those filled in so we can come through and texture it and then finish the wall. All right, we're about all done for the day here at the museum. We got all these holes patched up. Most of the other rooms look pretty good. So we're gonna clean things up and get on out of here. So I'd say overall, pretty successful day. 6 hours later, look who finally decides to show up. I was kind of getting sick of driving my dad around, so I'm finally glad he actually picked up a truck. We have to think of a name for it. First thing this morning we gotta get this floor upstairs all prepped up. So this carpet right here is glued down. So we had to go ahead, pull up the rest of this carpet that's along the trim areas, get that picked up, and then we have to scrape the glue off. We're doing this so the flooring people can come in and lay new carpet. Now that the upstairs is all finished and cleaned up, we can move downstairs and start working on the walls. While I was out running around grabbing some stuff, Todd went ahead and got this wall the first coat of primer done. I ran out, grabbed my spray gun, and we'll end up shooting together. So he'll come through for the first coat, and I'll follow behind with the second coat. We should be able to knock this place out pretty darn fast. Well, I haven't ever used my paint sprayer before, so we're gonna be doing an unboxing video. A little history behind this paint sprayer: I actually got it when I was back in Iowa. I was gonna use it for my rental renovations, but never ended up doing so. So here we go, it's the unboxing. So this sprayer isn't anything too special. It's not a professional grade one. Either way, it still does the job that we needed to do. It can do about 500 gallons in a year. So that's plenty enough for this job. So we have the unit right here. This is just the hose and spray gun, and there's already a spray tip attached with it. There you go, that's the X5. We've got quite a bit done now. We went through and primered all this wall right here, all the way down into this back room and then around the corner. We'll get a second coat of primer on these walls so it's ready to get painted. Always make sure that you wear a respirator whenever you're spraying paint. Those particles are super small, they get into your lungs and cause tons of issues. So be sure to wear your PPE. And for those of you who don't know what PPE stands for, it's personal protective equipment. We've kind of reached a point where we can't do too much more today as far as getting the walls primed and painted. So what we're gonna do now is just clean up the areas that we have. Overall, today was a really productive day. We were able to get most of the main walls for this whole entire building primered. There's a few sections we need to go through and touch up on, but we had to let this thin set dry, and then we'll come back and primer it later. Thank you everybody for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.